Hey everyone, Scott Davis from the Morning Breach, coming to you live with a new feature that we're calling MSP Mondays, where each Monday we're going to feature a managed services provider that could be in your neighborhood. Today with us we have Chris Coulson from Coulson Technologies, which is from York, Pennsylvania. So Chris, how you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Scott. How are you?
Good. Hey, thank you for taking some time and being with us. What I want to do is just kind of jump right in, and if you could just tell the audience a little bit about your MSP.
You got it. Thanks, Scott. We provide full IT services for companies who cannot hire a full-time person. And we provide also IT services for those that already have an IT department to just want to augment some of their services out to us. It's not easy to always stay up to date with technology. So most of the IT firms that we see, or not IT firms, but most of the IT departments that we work with, they stay in their circle of influence. And sometimes they need a little bit of help from the outside. And that so the thing is, we understand getting a new IT support company isn't easy. And it's a scary thing. So we've developed a custom process to make it pretty easy. All you got to do is just give us a 10-minute discovery call. We ask you a few questions, provide you with a solution. It really should be that easy.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you there. It really should be that easy. With it being Cybersecurity Month all month here in October, what are some of the biggest current cyber threats that you are seeing and Coulson Technologies is seeing out in the wild?
There's a lot that we're seeing out there in the wild, but we're seeing an increased sophistication in the level of attacks that are going on within the organizations and towards the end users. From what seems like a harmless spam email trying to come in to try to get somebody to click on it, to systems that have already been compromised but haven't been ransomware yet. These guys are sitting in the systems, listening, watching, understanding what the network is, stealing data, stealing information, and then at the point of no return, then they launch the ransomware. So we're seeing that they're bypassing the standard antivirus and virus tools. It's very important to make sure that you update those and look at something with a managed detection and response, or even a cross detection and response, where you're watching that traffic for somebody going laterally through the network. It's not just one machine anymore. They go sideways and start to compromise laterally through the network of other machines that are in the network to see what they can get a hold of and grab. It is a really scary thing of what's happening, and I don't want to scare everybody, but it is very important to make sure that they keep their systems up to date.
No, absolutely. That is crucial. I think in almost every episode of the Morning Breach, we cover patching in one way or another. Moving on to the next question, what does Coulson Technologies do to analyze and help protect your clients from those threats?
What don't we do? The bad guys are not taking any days off, and they continue to increase their A game. So we have to continually evaluate and review our internal tool sets that we use to protect ourselves and our clients. Recently, we just did I won't name any names, but we recently did an internal audit and a third-party audit of our current antivirus solution and our endpoint protection. We found it was seriously lacking in lateral movement and cross detection. So we since have upgraded our system to one of the most advanced autonomous breach prevention platforms out there, where it has a 24/7, 24 by 7 by 365 SOC team that's sitting there waiting for these alerts to come up. They have decoy files that are in there because your users shouldn't be accessing files in other people's profiles, or they shouldn't be accessing PowerShell. If you have something that runs PowerShell and your user is running that, you should get alerted to that. And our other systems were seriously lacking in that. So to protect our clients and to protect the businesses that we work with, we have to consistently evaluate the tools that we're using to make sure that they're effective. Don't just take the vendor's word on it. Make sure that we're doing the testing ourselves. And I'm glad we did.
No, absolutely. And I think, one of the pieces of advice I give to a lot of MSP owners is you should constantly be evaluating your stack, because there's constantly something else that's coming out that may do the job better, that may be cheaper, that, just there's a million possibilities there. What is something that you encourage every business owner to do, even if they're not your customer?
What is something I would encourage most business owners to do? On a technical side, make sure they have a third-party network assessment or an evaluation of their network. Whether it's, don't use your internal IT person, use somebody that's outside, because that will give you a full exposure as to where you're at. What do you own? Most businesses that we talk to, they have no idea the number of computers, the devices, or phones they currently hold or manage. Well, you can't fix what you can't manage, and you can't manage what you don't know that you have. So the problem is make sure that they have at least a baseline network assessment, that they know what they have. Get a third-party audit to evaluate those things. Not put the IT guy on the spot, but to help him through that process. Sometimes the internal IT people can take care of this. Sometimes that they're overwhelmed, especially with everybody working from home with COVID and the whole work from home aspect. I know a lot of IT guys that are swamped right now because of this, and they don't have time to deal with this. So we recommend the network assessment to at least give them where do they start. On the personal side is make sure that your users have software, or not software, make sure that your staff have cybersecurity awareness training. Make sure that they know what to look for. If they get an email saying that, hey, we're changing this wire transfer to this account, stop right there. Do not reply to the email and pick up the phone and call that person. I have seen multiple times where somebody has compromised the email, but all reply tos go out to a Gmail account and not to the actual valid person. So physical side, network assessment, third-party assessments, and on the staff side, make sure they at least know what that process is. Implement a policy that says before any money is transferred, before anything happens, you call and pick up the phone and get verbal authentication on that.
No, those are all great tips. I swear, it sounds like you're watching my podcast and my videos here, because these are things that I feel I say almost every episode. So I love hearing it from other people, because the facts are the facts. And I think for probably 95% of the time, if you ask an IT professional that actually knows what cybersecurity is, they're going to give you these same answers if you ask them. So absolutely great advice there. The last question I have for you, and this is kind of future casting, so I'm not going to hold you to any predictions. What do you envision are going to be the biggest cyber threats we will face in 2021?
I see an increase in sophistication. When we recently were called into a ransomware event about 2-3 years ago, we were talking to the forensic investigators that came in. These were ex-FBI officials, and they basically said, back in the early 2000s and late 90s, it was organized crime, and it was organized crime. Let's put it that way. And now all they see is cybercrime, and cybercrime. It's anonymous, it's profitable, and it's not going to stop. So every time a new device comes out, a new piece of technology, whether it's IoT, whether it's a coffee pot that's connected to the internet, or a washing machine that now tells you when it's available, well, being connected to a network is then becoming more prone to attacks. And I would say attacks in a way that it's not going to make your dishwasher crash or your coffee pot crash, but what it could do is give remote access for somebody to be in your network listening to your devices. And to me, that's very concerning. So right now, we have an opportunity to protect the next generation. And for us cybersecurity professionals, it's our job and our responsibility to make sure that we're protecting it for the next generation. Making sure that we're taking the time to secure our wireless networks, making time that we're taking the time to secure our family and our staff and anybody that we can get in contact with, that they don't click on these things. No matter how curious they are, don't click on stuff that they don't know. I came up with the saying, if you don't know, don't click. And so far, that's rung true and has been a solid solution for everybody that I talk to.
Awesome. All great advice. Chris, thank you very much for taking some time being with us today. Please check out the episodes of The Morning Breach. MSP Mondays are going to be taking place every Monday morning. So please tune back in next Monday as we feature another MSP that's doing cybersecurity the right way. Thanks for watching.